this computer. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Clay Stevens, and super excited to be with you here today. Going to be talking about Infinity 5. It'll take a long time, but there's a couple of things that I want to share that I have become more and more aware of as we move forward about things that are super important in building a business, living a life on purpose, and having that life have real meaning in the long run. So I'm going to share a couple of things with you here this morning. One of them is the notion that that we all actually have an opportunity to be able to pursue our passions and dreams. So I'm going to share my screen with you here this morning. And what I wanted to talk about this morning for a few minutes is the difference between hype and hopium. And as I'm in the middle of writing this new book that I'm talking about, it's become pretty obvious that many people have kind of given up, right? Have surrendered, as it were, and surrendered to the conditions of their life, et cetera, et cetera. So as I've been talking to people who are making 6, 7, 8, 9 figures a year, it's become increasingly obvious that the most powerful and yet basic force. So this is pretty interesting, right? This definition kind of came out of a think tank, right? The most powerful and yet basic force on earth is hope or passion. Powerful, yes. Basic, absolutely. In fact, we start rolling our eyes pretty fast when we say, okay, we're going to talk about hope, having hope, or setting goals, or what are your conditions of victory, that kind of stuff. And yet it's pretty interesting because you think about our lives, and especially in light of some of the tragedies that occurred yesterday in the world. Hope is an incredibly important thing for all of us to be pursuing, or else you're just going to be living for the sake of living, which makes us sort of slaves, right? This is what hostages are doing. Hostages are just trying to figure out how to get through the day, how to not, how to just get to tomorrow. Maybe by some miracle, right? Tomorrow is going to be different, but we're going to do the same things over and over and over, expecting some different result. So hope actually gives us some superpower. It moves us to action, and those actions will create results. So the actions that we take every day, of course, those are the actions do create results. That is to say, no one fails. Everyone creates a result. And those results are a direct reflection of the actions that we take, the decisions that we make, etc. But if you didn't have any hope, you had no hope at all, then you would just be taking basic survival function actions. And this is why on the freeway, right, that nobody's smiling on the freeway, except people that are driving around in Ferraris and Maseratis and not worrying about, getting tickets and so forth, right? So most people are not happy. Why aren't they happy? Well, because they're hostages, they're slaves, they're people on a string, right? And the boss pulls the string, the owner of the company pulls the string, and they get to, like marionettes, right? Like puppets, they get to move and do what he says, when he says, because he says. It's kind of an interesting notion that I've been really paying super close attention to. And hope really is a drug, because having it can motivate you to do things when times are hard, when you're tired, when there's bad weather, which most people get. Oh, it's snowing outside. It's hard for me to go. It's raining. Man, I want to go outside and go talk to anybody. But also in good weather. It's an interesting thing that when it's good weather out, it's sometimes funner to go play than it is to go to work, chasing your dreams. So when you can't even see, hope will help you move forward. When you can't see, how in the world can this possibly work? How can my life really, truly be any better? And there's, of course, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples of people who pursue their passion because they have hope that they're going to be able to win. It's when we lose hope that things turn bad, and they turn bad pretty fast. Hope, then, is a critical factor in all success. It's critical. You cannot get from here to there, wherever there is, unless you have hope that you're going to make it. Now, let me just boil this down to like super basic stuff. You have hope every night when you go to bed. You have hope that you're going to wake up in the morning, or you wouldn't go to bed. You wouldn't close your eyes. You wouldn't climb in the bed and say, "Oh man, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep now." If you didn't have hope that you were going to wake up in the morning. If you didn't have hope, you wouldn't get in this business. If you didn't have hope for better health, right, you wouldn't be taking Better 5. You wouldn't be doing any of the things that you do if you didn't have any hope that they were going to create a result that you wanted to be able to create. So as we're beginning this new venture of ours, is totally fun. This is going to be awesome. I'm pretty fired up. That what's interesting for us to recognize is that we have hope that the company is going to behave in ways that are consistent with truth. We have hope that if we go talk to our family, friends, and neighbors, that we can help their lives be better. We can have hope. Now, the notion of hype, this guy right here, this is the undoer of almost everything. This is super high. We set the expectations super high and we fall short, right? Overpromise, underdeliver. This is the killer of almost anything that actually could be good in the world. And we've all, of course, experienced this. But in terms of chasing a dream, right? And in terms of chasing a dream, if you're chasing someone else's dream, you can't get there. You won't chase for very long. You won't chase long enough to make it work out. You won't even chase someone else's dream for 90 days. We have about 60 years, about 6 decades of information in this industry to demonstrate or show or prove what I just said. If you're chasing someone else's dream, 20,000 square foot houses with 10 bathrooms and 50 bedrooms and a big, huge staff to take care of all of the landscaping and all of that stuff, lunches in Paris, fast cars, all that stuff, most people don't last in this business because most people enroll because of someone else's dream, not the possibility. The possibility is there. The possibility of success is there. The possibility of success is wherever we happen to be standing at any given moment in time. Jim said it's better to be seen than viewed, 100%, because if you're dead, you're done. But I want to chase my passions every day while I'm on this side of the grass. And that's not hype. For me, that's hope, because I have an opportunity to be able to move forward. But I don't want you to chase my dream. I want you to chase your dream. I want you to pursue your passions, whatever they might be. And if it's better health, hallelujah, we got a way to be able to create that. If it's wealthness, we got a way for you to be able to do that as well. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. What I want you to spend some time doing this weekend before we start, because we're really truly launching on Tuesday. We're going. And we're going to start having 2 calls every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, Mountain Time. 10 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, twice a day for 2 weeks. So as long as people are showing up for these calls, I'm going to be doing them. We're going to be moving forward. We're going to be having things that actually matter with and for everybody that's with us. So just want you to know that's what I want to give you some hope to be able to move forward. But if you're chasing a dream, I want you to chase your dream. I don't want you to help other people to chase their dream. I want you to be passing around a drug called hope. 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 Here's what hope actually could look like. In our compensation plan, right? Do you know 3 families that eat cooked or processed foods? If yes, we have a way for them to be able to move forward. We have hope. We have what I would call a miracle matrix, which helps us to move forward. I was explaining this last night to a guy at a father and son's outing, and he said, "What? Really? It's finally that simple. Yeah, and on the next slide, I'm going to show you exactly how simple, because we've eliminated about every possible thing that other companies do that don't work very well. So, total compensation plan. This is the key to the whole thing. And this guy totally got it. Oh, I get it. 5% for every person on every level, down to 10 levels. I totally can get that. I understand. Here's what that means. On the $120 plan, person gets in for $120. It doesn't enroll anybody. They enroll one or they enroll two people, right? They get this part of the compensation plan. You get down 5 levels, $120. 3 bottles of Better 5, family of 3, auto ship, which is about 1/4, about 20% of almost everybody else's auto ship. That's pretty cool, I think. For 3 people, I'm fired up. It's awesome in every way. So if you had a group of 364 people for which you would have to enroll a few, and I don't mean a few hundred of the 300, a few of those people, right? You get this much. You get in for $120. You can get compensated. It is an auto ship program, right? So $120, you can have access to 5 levels down, 364 people, roughly. Now this is, so down at the very bottom of the slide, it says mathematical possibilities. This is not a guarantee. It's mathematical possibilities with 66% customers and 33% business partners. You'd make about $1,500 per month. That's pretty good for most people. For most people, that's more than a job would pay at, let's say, McDonald's or Home Depot or wherever, right? A regular job, $10, $12, $15 an hour job doesn't pay that much money. So you get that, right? Now, if you're on the 120 plus 3 plan, that is to say, I enrolled 3 people who are on this plan, right? Then now I have access to the entire compensation plan. For most people, I will tell you, for most people, job dropping residual income comes in here someplace. Now, I do want you to understand that these numbers are for each of these levels or lines, right? Rows to be filled in. So it's not a jump from $4,505. Doesn't jump from this to this, right? It can incrementally go up. Why? 5% for every person on every level. And what's totally amazing is that you can actually be partners in this business with other people. And by that, I mean, you're in, other people are enrolling people. But here's the simple math of this is that we're building in threes. And we did this before. And it was massively effective. You enroll 3 people. I don't like the word get. I'm going to get 3 people because nobody wants to be got, right? But people do want to be enrolled in their own life. That is to say, most people do want to have hope. Enroll people in their own life so that they can have hope, whether it's better health or more wealth, hallelujah. And incrementally, this can go up. But I will tell you that in this compensation plan, level 6 and level 7 are totally, this is for most people in the world. That is job-dropping, life-changing residual income. It's amazing. Now, I don't know if you guys, I will be sending you this when this all gets finalized exactly, and my intention is to get that done today. Is that the compensation plan here, there's some speaking points that I think are really important. One is, we're not playing games. No gimmicks, no gotchas. Oh yeah, I told you could get in, but you don't have exactly the right structure, so too bad, so sad. Oh, you don't have 3 people who are at some super killer cool level. No. There are no outrageously priced products. I think you will agree that $65 for a single bottle, right, by itself would be good. But 3 bottles for $120, that's $40 a pop. $40. That's pretty darn good. For what it is we have here, that is not outrageously priced. We have no points to count. No dollar to point value conversions to make. We don't need to worry about product point values. How much does this or that? What? No, this is dollar for point. This is dollar for dollar, straight up. I don't care how you do the math. If you want to say, oh yeah, people spent $1,000 in my business in the group, right, from me down, right, they spent $1,000. Well, I get 5% of that. Oh, they have 1,000 points. Well, I get 5% of that. It's the same, right? It's not 3/4 for this and 25% for that and deductions for this, etc. No need to plan around what points count and what points went flying past you just for somebody else to capture. That's not part of what we're doing here, right? We don't have we don't have to worry about balance or banked points or balance requirements. These things make me crazy, right? Balance requirements and banked points are a clever way. Well, they're not very clever anymore because most people can get this. For companies to cut you out of the commissions that you earned, even though they make money on the products that got sold. I've had people tell me banked points because they didn't meet some requirement. Banked points. I have millions of banked points. Well, what does that mean? Well, what if you were getting 25%? Even, well, we make 25% on ours. Okay, good. If you have 25%, and after a while you have 1 million banked points, that's $4 million worth of products that went by, that got sold in your organization, in your team, you down, right? And you got nothing because those points are banked. And it's almost impossible, the truth is, to be able to get banked points out to be able to withdraw them. There is a way to do it, but you're going to get to work to be able to make that happen, right? Now, even though the company made money, you got nothing. That's why I'm saying no games, no gimmicks, no gotchas. So no need to calculate percentage of points for any leg or group. Oh, I have to have 25% here and 30% there and 50% here. I saw somebody was talking to me the other day. I said, yeah, well, we only got to really manage 3 legs of this whole thing, which is good. But 50% of the points, no more than 50% can come here, and you got to have at least 20% here and at least 15% there. And I'm thinking, man, really? What the heck? What if you get out of balance? What happens if you're off by 1% in any of those 3 things? Well, then you don't qualify. Wow. No frantic end-of-month dialing for dollars or personal spending in order to be able to, quote-unquote, qualify for bigger commissions or bonuses. And I'm totally fired up about that for sure. No need to rely on others achieving or maintaining leadership levels so that you can get paid. And there's no requirement to build or create qualified leadership positions in width or depth. 5% per person per level, right? The percentage commission, there's no percentage discounts for people based on their position in your matrix. That is to say, if I enroll Bob and Bob enrolls Susan and Susan enrolls Rochelle and Rochelle, right? And so, I get 5% on these people and 3% on those people and 2% and 1% or vice versa. There's no different. It's 5% per person per level. It's pretty straightforward. No worries about sponsorship. No worries about bank points, no carry forwards, etc. And what I'm totally fired up about is that the conversation about business volume, group volume, team volume, personal volume, no. We don't have to manage it. We don't have to maintain it. We don't have to manipulate it. It's totally awesome. We don't have to be doing this. That's why I'm saying no games, no gimmicks, no gotchas. You're not going to get God here. 5% per person per level down to 10 levels, which is, I think it's totally awesome. Now, I would encourage you in the next 90 days to do 2 things. Personally contact, two different kinds of things. One is, what would I do all day? Personally contact 10 to 12 people per week. Contact 10 to 12 people per week. 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12. Here's what I know. If you have a names list of 200 people and you contact 10 of them every week, it's going to take you 20 weeks to work through the 200. And here's what I know. I know that if you will actually do that, my experience and the group of people that I'm hanging out with, a power table as it were, of people who are who I'm able to talk to, who have made and are making enormous amounts of money in network marketing, is that you contact everybody on your names list, legitimately contact them, not just send a message to all of them, actually contact all of those people that you will become what in most businesses is called a diamond. You'll be making well over 6 figures in your business. You contact that. So you are, at a minimum, you're 20 weeks away, 20 weeks away. That's less than half a year away. Contact 10 to 12 a week. 3 to 4 of those people should enroll in your business. It's probably going to work like this. Probably 2 as customers, 1 as brand partner. That is to say, 1 person is going to want to build. There may be people that enroll at $120, because they want the products, right? And but they won't build a business, right? So they have people in there. They'll have access to the first 5 levels of the compensation plan. And 1 is a brand partner. That is to say, somebody's going to be able to build the business. Customers will buy on average about $65 a month, right? A single customer. Brand partners, $120 a month, which means in the next 90 days, in the next 12 weeks, you should have 12 personally enrolled brand partners in the next 90 days. 12 people who are going to do something. What do we say something? Enroll 3. That's something. That's more than the industry average, which is less than 2. Between 1 and 2 is the industry average. Enroll 1 brand partner every week, and in 12 weeks, you should have 12 of those. Find 3 of those people who actually want to build. You see, I'm not saying you got to enroll the entire community you live in, unless you have 3 people that live in your community, right? You don't have to enroll all of Los Angeles or all of New York or all of Phoenix. That's not what we're doing here. Find some people who say, you know what, I really am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'd like some hope. You're giving me hope, and I'm excited about the fact that there is hope here. Work with 3 teams or 3 legs, right? 3 people in your organization, and dedicate 1 night per week to help them become what I would call a trainer. A trainer is a person who can build the business, who can teach others. Here's the mantra of the industry. Teach people to teach people to teach others to do the same. You can even say help others to help others to help others to do the same. And when you have 3 of these, three people who can essentially just do this right here, who can do this, right? 3 people who can do that, you could go colonize Mars, and those people will still build. Because if you think about it, how much on my first level? 3. How much on my second level? 9. 3 people. Who enrolled 3 more people, who enrolled 3 more people. The next level is 81, and then 243, etc. And it grows, right? Grows geometrically in this way. And you can make some pretty good bank. 5% per person per level. Not, oh man, I enrolled superstar Bob and no one else anywhere. But look, Bob's got to put people in different kinds of places. I'm going to show, just briefly, I'm going to show the back office here in a second. But man, 1 night a week for 12 weeks, 3 people. And then your own personal stuff. Now you should arrive at the level 6 payout, right? In that amount of time. In that amount of time. Like this right here, right? You should have, if you do this, right, you should be about at this level. You could be there in 12 weeks. If you actually do what I'm asking you to do. Now, if you don't ask what I'm going to tell you to do, you're going to be someplace. Who knows? You won't fail. You will create some result. I just want you to understand what I'm talking about here. You could be in these levels right here in the next 12 weeks. If you wanted to be enrolling 3 people who can enroll 3 people who can enroll 3 people. Do you know 3 people who eat cooked or processed foods? Now, when I ran this campfire last night talking to this guy, He's like, so what you doing now, Clay? Well, I just, started a new venture. We're going to launch on Tuesday. It's going to be totally awesome. Yeah, what is it? Well, the product itself is called Better 5, and it has 19 digestive enzymes, whole food nutrients, chelated minerals, antioxidants, probiotics. It's 100% natural, gluten-free, and it helps everything about your body process the world better. We are not what we eat. We are what we can digest and what we can actually process, right? Get what we take in, right? Digestion, and be able to assimilate. So it makes our bodies work better, and no matter what you take, right? If you take a green drink or a red drink or a protein shake or something else, so totally good, this actually makes that work better. Okay, good. Sounds cool. Great product, right? Is it astronomically priced? No, it's about, for one person, about $40 a month. 120 bucks, get you 3 bottles, family of 3, auto ship, 120. It says, okay, that sounds not bad. Okay, I get that. So, but what about the compensation? And I said, well, it's a 3x10 matrix, 3 levels wide, 3 people wide, down 10. So 3x3, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 88,000 positions if you got it all. Now, the likelihood that I or anyone else are ever going to get 88,000 people to be in our organization, probably not that high. However, with about 1,000 people in an organization, you make about 4,500 bucks. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. With 66% customers and 33% business partners with you, right? About 4,500 bucks a month. Now, look, you probably can do better than that. I'm just saying, I'm trying to make sure I'm being conservative with my estimates of what is likely to happen. And he said, well, how many of the 1,000 have I got to enroll? 3. 3 people. Do you eat cooked or processed foods? Yes. Do you know 3 people who eat cooked or processed foods? Yes. Good. So here's how that works. Do you think those people that you know eat cooked or processed foods, do you think they know 3 people who eat cooked or processed foods? Well, of course, he looked at me. He says, so what about other stuff? Like, I got to have, super leader guys, and I got to have balance, and I got to have bank. How do we do bank? No, you're not understanding me. At the end of every week, you get paid out 5% per person per level, all the way down to 10 levels. He said, really, it's that simple? Totally. It's 100% that easy to be able to understand what it is that we're talking about here. And he's looking at me like, man, what's the catch? Because this is really, I think I could totally do this because I don't have to worry about all of the rest of that stuff. Not only am I got to figure out how to enroll people in the company, but then I got to figure out how to manage and manipulate points and manage and manipulate this and that and structure and people and what week are people getting in on and what people are, where do the points hit and what does auto ships hit and what are enrollments and what is the super package? What's the biggest package I could get in? He asked me. And I said, 120 bucks, my friend. He says, no way. It's not $330, $660, $1,320, $2,000. None of that nonsense? Nope. Totally amazing. Now, I can have that conversation around a campfire, and people can totally understand because of the simplicity of what we're doing here. The simplicity of what we're doing here. So please, 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 do not make this more complicated than it actually is, because it doesn't. The truth is, it really doesn't need to be complicated in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to share, hopefully, my screen with you, Infinity5, this guy right here. And what I want you to see is a couple of things. I'm just going to log in real quick, and I would invite you to log in. Now, what you have to understand is that anything you do right now, let's see, I can't talk and write at the same time. Is that I came in here and I created. With Dr. Taylor, I created one account, and he put some fake money in here just so I could kind of see what the process would look like, and that's what this is. So the back office looks like this. The back office, this is the dashboard. So on the left is all of the menu items. So this is the dashboard. This is the default where you go to when you come in here. Okay, so we have your information. We have referral statistics, etc. I mean, you can read this as well as I can. So there's $21 left in my account. I would be making $6. I enrolled one person here. I made $6, or I would be making $6, right? And et cetera, et cetera. Now, unpaid referrals, this is kind of cool, right? Well, it's not cool that they're unpaid, but it just means they haven't bought anything yet, right? So this is a place for you to be able to go and play. And you can actually start creating, a fake or dummy account right now. And I wouldn't spend a lot of time messing around with things like your profile and settings and that stuff. You don't need to worry about that now. But what was really cool is I click on this network, and I have two different views. I have the view that says, hey, here are the people who I created, who I enrolled, as it were. And these people are all new. So that means that they have registered. I think that means that they have registered in the last week. That's why they're new, a week or two. I'm not sure exactly when the new when this new moniker goes away. We'll find out when this goes here. So what's amazing is that I can kind of see what's going on. Referrals yesterday, this person put in 3, and referrals today, none so far. Referrals total 3. So I can get some statistics about some of these people just from right here. I can see what's going on here. And they create these super cool little deals for which you can change this icon, right? You can put your own picture in here. But it tells us what their membership is and how, and if they have some sort of Zoom or other account for us to be able to go talk to them. Now that's one view. Direct referrals. That is to say, these are the people that I have personally sponsored in the business. Sponsorship really doesn't matter, but if you got 3 of these people who are actually moving, then you get access to the entire compensation plan. Now the other part of this is the matrix. So network and then down to matrix. Okay, so the matrix for me right now in my little fake world that I've created here, this is what that looks like. So I think it's important for us to start thinking about, okay, well, where do I want people exactly? How's this going to work? And interestingly enough, if you personally enroll somebody, then they are likely. If I personally enrolled another person, so this would be me right here. If I personally enrolled another person, they would automatically go right there. That's where they would go. Okay, now that's forced matrix-like, which is okay. And interestingly enough, we can choose to be able to put our people where we want them to be. So, and we have additional information. So if you put your mouse over any of these people, it says, hey, this is a guy named Royal Fletcher. Right now he has a free membership. That is to say, he hasn't bought anything yet. So that's why it says free membership. People can enroll for free and get a spot in the matrix. Now, we really don't want those. We don't want 0-point positions. Right now, Royal Fletcher would be what I would call a 0-point position. He has no paid referrals, has no referrals at all, but he does give me the opportunity for me to be able to see how to talk to him. Royal@gmail.com, right? GHEmail.com. So it was clever when they created that. So this is Jake. Now, Jake, right, tells us exactly who is what. Jake is right here. So it tells me exactly how do I be able to talk to Jake. Okay, now his membership type right here, this line right here means he's direct to me. Royal Fletcher is direct to me. Mary Little Lamb she is not direct to me. I did not enroll her. She is what is called spillover. That is to say, she is enrolled by someone else. In this case, that person is Steve Toms. Okay? So it's important for us to be able to get and or understand exactly that. So she's not mine. She comes from someone else. I did not enroll her. However, I'm going to get 5% per person per row. 5% for all of the people that are in here. I'm going to get 5%. I didn't enroll her. I may not even know who she is. 5%. I'm going to be able to get that. And I have a way to be able to contact Mary. So when Mary is she's in the business, and I can contact her. I can let her know what's going on. What's the next thing happening? What are we doing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday calls twice a week for the next 2 weeks? I can ping her. I can tell her, hey, welcome to the company. Welcome to the group. Welcome to what we're doing here. Welcome to Infinity5. We're so glad to have you as part of the organization. If there's anything we can do to help you, and here are a few things that we would encourage you to be able to do. This person is spillover. This person, Jim Olson, is also spillover. And interestingly enough, what I did was, in order to get Jim, some of these people in here, is so if Jim Olson is my friend, well, I've already enrolled 3 people, and maybe I'm thinking, well, I want Jim to be in a particular place, a specific place, then I could give sponsorship of Jim away. I could give my sponsorship to Steve Toms and put him right here. He would go in here. I could give sponsorship to Audrey Black. So the fact that we have an opportunity, this is why it's not a force matrix, because I can put people essentially where I want them exactly. Now, don't forget, you need to enroll at least 3 people. You see, for Carol Stevens right here, she's direct to me. I could give away sponsorship, right? But I hadn't put anybody. She hasn't sponsored anybody. She has nobody in her organization yet. But I could put somebody. I say, hey, I know Bob or Susie or Sally or somebody. I could give her sponsorship. Put her right here. Put that person in her organization. I could do that. You see, if I can do that for other people, you can do that for other people. People can do that for you. I'm going to enroll people in this. And I just want you to know exactly what's going to go on. So if you look in this and say, oh my gosh, wait, people, wait. I wanted to put somebody here, there, wherever. Okay, good. Well, then get them in, because there's going to be spillover, and people will show up in your organization. Here's the good news. Here's the best news. You have an opportunity to be able to get 5% per person per row. 5% per person per row. 5%. So if I give somebody to Steve Toms, right, I took some of his, right? I put a person right here. He didn't put that person in. I did. Right? Now I gave sponsorship to him, so it's like he did, right? But he wouldn't necessarily know Jim, but he can contact him. These guys can start creating a business relationship, but guess what? He's going to get 5% on Jim, and he's going to get 5% for everybody that goes underneath Jim. And he may know these 2 people, but not Jim. Well, then he could put his 3rd person, so he qualifies for the entire compensation plan, underneath Jim. What's amazing? This is totally amazing. If he puts in another person, he's going to go into his organization somewhere. And it doesn't matter where. That's the beauty of this. This is totally amazing what we're talking about being able to do here. So what I'm loving about this is that I'm in complete control over what's happening, and it can get out of control pretty fast. And it's okay if it does, because I can get 10 levels down. If Steve Toms becomes like superstar, rock star guy, builds a huge organization, go man, go. And there's no gimmicks, no games, no gotchas here. 5% per person per row. I'm totally loving this. It's totally amazing what's happening here. So I just want you guys to all know that we have opportunities to be able to rock and roll, to be able to make our organizations grow, get better, get faster, get stronger as we're moving forward here. So products are in the warehouse. Tuesday, we're going to launch 10 o'clock. So for 2 weeks, starting on Tuesday, right, at 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time, we're going to start having calls. It won't be 30, none of those calls will be 30 minutes. There'll be less than 30 minutes. We'll go through the presentation, help people understand at the 50,000 foot level what the products are. And you're going to be able to, you'll have when you enroll, you'll have your own URL that you're going to want to send out to people so that when they enroll, they're automatically attached to you. And we're going to be able to start rock and rolling. 10 a.m. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Tuesday, 10 a.m. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Wednesday, on and on and on. For 2 weeks, we're going to do that. And then we'll do once a week after that, and we'll have a Saturday training, always being able to move forward. So I just want you guys to know that I'm pretty fired up. The thing I'm probably most fired up here about is that we have business partners who actually are ethical. They're actually moral. They're actually responsible. They've actually done everything that I have asked them to do. 100%. I ask you to do this, done. I ask you to consider that, done. I call, they answer. You call, they're likely to answer. What's amazing is we have an opportunity to be able to work together with people who actually have been successful in direct sales. And one of the owners is going to join us next week, and talk to us about a couple of things that are going to be rocking and rolling, but we'll be probably a week in to being able to move forward. Product works. This is totally legit. I totally love this stuff. If you eat cooked or processed foods, here's your deal. What a great line. If you eat cooked or processed foods, that's pretty much everybody. Good. This will actually help your body break down the food so that you can actually digest it, get the nutrient value from it, and be able to expel the rest of it, get rid of it, which is going to be totally amazing. And what I'm most fired up about is compensation plan. It's amazing. 5% per person, whether you sponsor them or not, doesn't matter. None of the, no games, gimmicks, gotchas, none of that nonsense, right? You can look at your organization and say, oh, I see exactly what's going on here. And I can actually communicate with the people who are on my teams, which makes me pretty fired up. So before we go away here today, I'm fired up. And on Tuesday, we're going to be able to move forward in super big ways in our world happening forward. So before we go away, I just want to make sure to answer any questions, comments, concerns, observations, etc. from you guys. Tell me what you're thinking, because I want to be able to serve you bigger, better, faster, stronger, and to be able to move forward. So has anybody got anything that you would like to even say, right? So some of you have been taking the products, and is there anything that you would like to share with the group here while we got everybody together? Scott's giving us a big thumbs up.
We're good.
Okay, so, well, you guys are amazing. So Tuesday, we're going. It's heads down, right? We're going like crazy. On Tuesday, 10 o'clock, we'll reconvene, and we'll start rocking and rolling. From that, we'll have some videos. We'll make some videos of that. People can we'll be able to go to the YouTube channel, be able to watch those videos of the presentation and the replays of what we're doing here, etc. And we'll have some videos, and I'll be making probably a couple of videos every week about little snippets of what's happening here. I know Dr. Tater will be doing the same thing as we're moving forward. So I'm pretty fired up, and I'm excited to have you guys here to be part of the team. I love you guys, and I want everybody here to be able to win like crazy. So, and however I can help you to do that, that's my promise to you, is to do anything and everything that I can in order to be able to make your business grow and flourish, so that the things that you are hopeful for. So the one thing that I asked you to do is to do a bunch of stuff. The last thing would be for you to get super clear about what you want. And it may not be a thing. It may not be a car. It may not be a vacation house. It may be those things. But it may be, you know what? I would just like to have a group of 1,000 people. It would be super cool to watch a group of 1,000 people grow, like a garden, right? Like, boom, I got a team of people, which can create massive success. It may be, I don't know what it is for you. It may be money, just cash. Wow, I just want to see, my bundle of cash grow, right? I want my room to be filled with cash. It's, okay, good. Well, let's watch that cash grow. And that may be it. But what I want you to do this weekend, the rest of the weekend before Tuesday for sure, is to know what you're chasing, to know what you're pursuing, to understand and be able to articulate what your passion is. What are you passionate about? What do you care about? When the lights are off, the doors are closed, you're by yourself, what do I care about? That's what I want you to invest some time in the next couple of days, to really know what you're doing. Because the most powerful and yet most basic thing in the entire universe is hope and passion. And if you don't have it, you'll run out of gas in like 5 seconds. If you do have it, you can do almost anything in the world that you're capable of being able to do. So I appreciate you guys, love you guys, and if there's anything you need between now and when we launch on Tuesday morning, between now and when we reconvene, let me know. Clay, C-L-A-Y, at ritraining.com. Clay at ritraining.com. Let me know if there's anything you guys need. Love you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah.